All right, hey y'all, this is gonna be your trade ideas for the week of what was it 9/7 through 9/10 because we're on a short week. Also, this upcoming week, instead of everything uncoupling on Tuesday, we're uncouple on Wednesday because technically Tuesday is going to be the first day of the week this week. So technically it'll be turnaround Wednesday, as well as the uncoupling what happened on September 8th, where your month, week, day, and 1 hour, the second hour of the day will all have different openings. All right. So we can identify the different participation groups. Okay. So remember FSOI on last week, we're still looking for a potential 122. So above 48.83 would trigger the 2-up month. All right. And then the target to take out with that would be 64.07. So for that, you might want to go with the October 15th contract because that's the monthly contract for October. All right. Remember, the third Friday of each month is the monthly expiration. And so the third Friday of this month is September 17th with this, which is also quad witching. All right. We go to the week. All right. So our entry for calls on the week is going to be 48.23. Now, some people be like, what's the difference between the day entry, the 4-hour entry, and the like week entry and month entry, right? So the entry is one for that time frame. So what is going on that time frame? Like for the monthly entry for calls would be 48.83, right? That's to trigger the monthly 122 reversal, right? The other aspect of it is one, it's an earlier entry on the lower time frame. So the 4-hour is an earlier entry into the daily time frame. The daily entry is an earlier entry into the week. Week is an earlier entry into the monthly. All right. The other aspect of it is it lets you know when that time frame is directional. So the entry on the week, the entry on the day is going to let you know whether it's a 2-up day or 2-down day, or even if it's going to go 3, it'll let you know where it goes 3 at. So it's also to let you know when that time frame becomes directional. So the week doesn't get directional until 48.23 to the upside. It doesn't get directional to the downside until it crosses below 42.8. You see what I mean? So that's the other thing it indicates. Entry, puts, week. All right. Then your PT1 for puts on the week is 40.59. PT1 puts. Oops, change that to red. And then your PT1 for calls on the week is 48.83, which will also trigger the 122 on the month. All right, then we go down to the daily. Got an inside day. Your actionable signal. Remember, your hammer, shooter, and inside days are your actionable signals. All right. So the entry for the day for calls is going to be 47.53. Entry puts on the day. Daily is 46.14. PT1 for puts is going to be 45.74. Oops. And then PT2 for puts is going to be 43.83. Also, your price targets and everything will change throughout the week. All right. So that's the other question I get a lot is, are these levels always good? They will change day to day. All right. So for instance, if it goes 2 up tomorrow, then the bottom of that new 2 up will be your entry for puts. This will actually be your PT1 for puts. That'll be PT2. All right. So it changes every day. And then your 4-hour entry for earlier entry. You got a 4-hour entry for calls on 46.78. And then for puts, your 4-hour entry is 46.36. All right. And that's FSLY. Again, for FSLY, if you were trying to catch the whole move, right, you probably go with like the 60 call for October 15th, if once it triggers the month. And then again, I'm already in FSLY in the 9/17/50 call. Right now I'm down 10% because I averaged up. My original average was 0.40, but when it started flying right here, no, that, hold on, let me see. When it started flying right here, I averaged up, which I probably should have originally kept my original average, but I averaged up. So right now I'm down 10%, but I might, once it, if it goes two up, tomorrow I probably average down. So yeah. All right. And the next one would be Neo. All right, so let me go to the month. Neo has an inside month, so Neo might be setting up for it. It could go two up this month, but I think Neo probably just sets up for a 2-1-2 reversal on the month. But if you wanted to catch the whole move and start down here, just like you kind of caught it before with Neo, you could have caught it on this 2-1-2 and rolled it all the way to up here. All right, on the month, which would have been, you could have caught the 1-2-2. You could have caught it from down here all the way to up here if you would have went with like the June expiration. You wouldn't have caught it to all the way up there. You probably would have caught it to like right here, at least magnitude, which was right here. That was your price target. You could have caught it to there. All right, if you would have just went with like the monthly June contract, which is the third Friday of the month, you probably could have caught it to there. No, probably wouldn't have caught it. It was June's monthly expiration. It was the 18th. So you wouldn't have caught it to there. You probably would have caught it to like in here. But if you would have went out one more week, you could have caught it to up here potentially. All right. Yeah. So let me remove these lines. Just to give you an example. So Neo could be starting to do that same thing where it's starting to reverse right here to go up and do the next hike up. All right. So it's like you could potentially go with an October 15th contract. But again, quad witching is coming up. So it's like one of those things where you don't want to you don't want to go too heavy. All right. So let me remove all this stuff. So the 2-2 reversal will happen at 46.18. All right. So I'll mark that. If it goes above there, then we would have a 2-up month on Neo. All right. But on the week, we would basically be looking for a 3-2. All right. So above here, the week gets directional entry calls. Week. And then below here would be your entry for puts. Entry puts. I meant week. All right. And your PT1 for puts would be right here. PT1 puts week. Not that I think it would drop that low, but you never know. And then your PT1 for calls on the week is right here. PT1 calls week. Oops. Oops. All right. There we go. All right. Go down to the daily. We have a little bit of an earlier entry on the daily for calls, like barely. Your entry for calls on daily could be 40.97. And entry calls daily. And then your entry for puts on the daily is 39.83. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to put. All right. And then PT1, besides it being your entry for calls on the week, for Neo, well, technically PT2, I'll just call it PT2. Your second price target for calls on the week would be 42.28. PT1, I mean PT2 calls daily. And then PT3 for calls on the daily. PT1 for puts on the daily is going to be 38.9. And then let's just go to the 4-hour entry. Your 4-hour entries, 4-hour entry for calls is going to be 40.37. Entry calls. And then your 4-hour entry for puts is going to be 39.93. All right. And then for Neo, again, if you want to catch the whole move, get in like an earlier entry, you could shoot for the like 45 call for like October. All right, for like potentially, because if Neo keeps going bullish, you would want to have like a perfect entry right now, all the way up. But if you wanted to just swing through the whole week, you can go with an September 17th call for, let's see, probably still the 45. But for October, really, it still would be safe with the 45. And then you can keep holding it or whatnot. Or just go with like the 50 for Neo. And then what would the quarterly be looking like? Yeah, see, it's a red quarter, and the new quarter starts next month. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, so that's how you would do it. If you want to swing something, go with like the next week out, or if you want to swing something that triggered like the monthly entry, go like a month and a half out. Like I said, the monthly contract, which is always the third Friday of the month contract, usually has the most volume and open interest. All right. Next one we'll be looking at is pins. Oops. Pins right now is green on the month, even though like the time frame continuity was showing something different. I don't know why I X weird on the week, but pins is green on the month. It would do a 322 reversal on the month above 60.94. All right, well, technically it's a 322. With technically the peak price target for the month being up here at 81.77. PT1 month. Well, PT1 calls. All right. Then on the week, let me clear out all this stuff. All right, boom. So The entry for calls on the week is going to be 58.16. And then your entry for puts on the week is going to be below 55.36. All right. Your PT1 on the week is going to be 58.94. And then the second one would be the 322, the entry on the month, basically. PT1 calls week. And then your PT1 on the week for puts is going to be 53.8. Oops. PT1 puts. All right. So that's what we got on the week. And then if we go down to the daily, you have a potential 1-2-2 reversal on pins. So mark the high, mark the low, just in case it drops. This would be your entry for puts on the daily. Entry puts daily. Below 55.72. And then your PT for calls, not your PT, your entry for calls is 56.92 on the daily. All right. And on the 1-2-2, your price target is always going to be the candle before the one. So that would be our entry for calls on the week. And then, for puts, it just be right there. All right, for a 2-2 continuation. Then we go down to the 4-hour for earlier entry. Mark the high, mark the low. It's either going to do a 2-1-2 reversal or 2-1-2 continuation, which would be a 2 down, 2-1, 2 down, continuation, 2-1-2 up would be the reversal. All right, so entry calls. Entry puts. Which I'm liking this because I love the 1-2-2 reversal. It's one of my favorite reversals. All right. So the 2 down, 2 up reversal, the 1-2 down, 2 up reversal back into time frame continuity, because remember, Tuesday starts a new week. So the week can actually be green, but with the month already being green, that'd be a great reversal up. As well as with pins, I'm gonna be looking at like the 60 call for next week. For really, you could go with this week's expiration, this upcoming week, or you can go with the 9/17. As well as I'm thinking about like YOLOing. All right, so this would be a YOLO. I'm thinking about YOLOing like the 70 call, because pins does have this gap to fill. Think about YOLOing the 70 call for October 15th expiration to catch pins all the way to the gap fill. All right, so I'm thinking about going 70 for October 15th. If not going like, because pins on the month would be what? It's setting up for a potential 3-2-2 reversal. Yeah, so like that, either the 70 or like the 75 for October. Because I want to catch this whole gap fill. And so yeah. So like the 70 for October, or like the 75 for October 15th. Because it's very cheap. I want to say it's like 28 for the 70. And like, let me see. It's 28 for the 70. And I want to say it's like 15 or something like that for the 75. Let me see, looking on my phone. Yeah, so it's like 15 cent, $15 for the 75 for October. And then for the 70, it's 28 cent, 27.28. And then like the 80 for October, it has like 7,000 open interest. So that's why I'm saying that. So I want to catch the whole move. So that would be like a YOLO, and it's very cheap. So, and the potential potential return is really great. So that's what I'm looking at for pins. And then for the next one be Oxy for the potential 3-2 month, 2 down, almost like a hammer. Basically like a hammer to me. Potential 3-2 down, 2 up reversal. This would be the price target for the month. PT1 calls month. All right, this would above 27.08 would trigger your monthly entry. And again, like I said, you would, if you're trying to catch the whole move, you want to swing and have time on your side, you would want to grab like the October 15th expiration. All right. Then on the week, we got a potential 2-2 continuation. All right, so let me move this. All right, so the entry on the week for calls. For calls, your entry is going to be 26.93. And then for puts, entry is going to be 24.86, below 24.86 entry puts week. All right. PT1 for puts on the week is going to be 22.8. And then PT1 for calls is going to be your month entry. And then your second entry, your second PT after that could be 27.6. It's technically one right before, but it's so close together. I just rather not mark it. PT1 calls week. PT2. Because it's one right here, but it's like so close that, like I said, you can go ahead and mark it, but I don't want to jumble up my lines too much. Go down to the daily. Have an inside day. So entry for puts on the daily is 25.78. And then your first price target for puts on the daily is going to be 25.5. So PT1 puts daily. And then your PT1 for cost is going to be your week entry. And then your entry for calls on the daily is going to be 26.87. All right, then we go down to the 4 hour for see if there's earlier entry. And then for calls, there's an earlier entry on the 4 hour. It's not an earlier entry for puts. So your earlier entry for calls on the 4 hour is going to be 26.09. So again, early entry for calls on the 4 hours, 26.09. All right. So that's Oxy. For Oxy, this upcoming week, you can look at like the 27 call. But if you wanted to catch like the full move, you can go like a October. If it goes for calls and stuff like that and triggers the month entry, you can go like 30 October calls. October 15th. That's something that you could look at because you want enough time. just in case, even if it keeps going, you'll have that time. So let's say it hits the 33.5, price target, and it just keeps going. And it's like only the first week in October, you can keep holding it. All right. So that's Oxy. Next up is going to be HD. And for HD, it did, let's look at the month. So the month is a green inside month. All right. HD gets directional on the month above 338.55. It'd be is that a reversal or a continuation? It'll be a 2-2 continuation. 2-2. So you have your month will go 2-2 continuation above 338.55. Let me change this color. All right. And then on the week, we'd be looking at a 2-2 continuation as well. Move. All right. So entry on the week is going to be above 330.9. So entry calls week. And then your entry for puts on the week would be below 320.28. Entry puts. Then we go down. Well, let me mark the price targets first. So PT1 for puts on the week is going to be 316.61. And then PT1 for calls on the week is 335.63. Go down to daily. So if I was drawing the broad information right now would be right here. Because I'm looking at where price reverses. Price reverse and start going up right here. Price reversed off the top. Start coming down from here. All right. So on the daily, there's no earlier entry for calls because Friday, sheesh, HD was a good play. You just have your entry for puts below 325.16. And then, PT1 for puts would be 323.7. I mean, I said entry puts, tripping. PT1 for puts. And then PT1 for calls is the same PT. The entry on the daily is the same as the week, as well as the price target one. And then the second price target would actually be like a little bit above it, be like 333.96, but I'll just leave the second price target as being the 2-2 continuation on the month. All right. So with HD, really you can look at like, because HD still got this gap to fill. All right. To 339 as a gap from back in like, what is this, May? Yeah, May. All right. So HD been wanting to fill that. I've been watching HD for the longest, waiting for it to get to this gap. I remember playing HD up to here. All right. So HD has been wanting to fill this gap right here for like the longest. So really, if you want to, you can go with like the next week's expiration, the 9/17. If HD wants to go ahead and fill this gap within the next week, you can go with like the 340 for 9/17. But if you just want to try to do this week, you can go with the 9/10 expiration. You can go with like the 335. All right. But or you can go with the 340. But I think you know, with time on your side to catch the whole move and to really benefit from it, going with the 340 for 917 would be like the best bet. All right. And then if you just want to really just long HD, you can go with the October 15th, 345. All right. Because this would be a great entry. You'll be far in the money, but you'll been racked up. It'll be a great risk to reward, basically. All right. So that's HD. Let me go down to the 4-hour. There's like an earlier entry for puts. Just in case HD pulls back tomorrow, which is Tuesday. You can get your entry for puts below 329.81. So entry puts 4-hour is again 329.81. All right. So boom, that's what we got for HD. And then last is PayPal. PayPal. Which, as you can see, I already got a bunch of lines to clear out. Remove. So we start on PayPal's month. You can see the month is red as of right now, but with the reversal, and if price goes above, what is it, 290.1, we'll get the month will go green, right? So as you can see, PayPal has a gap to fill. So the month being red right now isn't that bad, but also above 292.65, we'll get a 2-2 reversal on the month for PayPal. So 2-2 reverse. So if it breaks above 292.65, we'll get a reversal on the month. And I'm making that green because it might be a price target on lower time frame. So as you can see, basically, if we go 2 up on the week, we'll get the 2-2 reversal on PayPal. All right. But let me go ahead and mark just in case it goes puts. You can grab puts below 279.08. Entry puts week for PayPal, and then PT one for puts on the week for PayPal would be 273.02. All right, let's go down to the daily. If PayPal goes 3-2 continuation on the daily, so if tomorrow goes 2 up, you'll have calls above 290.38. And then puts below 284.4. And then technically PT1 on the daily is going to be for calls is going to be 290.9. So PT1. All right. And then PT1 for puts would be technically your entry for puts on the week. All right. And then again, PayPal got this gap to fill. And then after the gap fill, you got a price target on 302. Let me check the week. Yeah, so that'd be like a daily price target. So I'll say that's basically like PT3 on the daily. PT. Now I'll say PT4. The reason why I'm saying it's PT4 on the daily is because you got the 2-2 reversal. You have PT1, then you got the 2-2 reversal on the month, which is a price target. Then you have the gap fill, and then 302.43. So that's why it would be PT4. PT4 calls. All right. So with PayPal, you could really go with the 290 for this week. But like if you want to catch the full move and you want it to be like comfortable, you could go with like the 300 917 contract. All right, just to give yourself this whole weekend next week, just in case it runs all week, and then you're like, I want to swing into next week. You have a comfortable position in entry, and then on the 4 hour for PayPal, you got an inside 4 hour. So you got a little bit of an earlier entry for calls. So entry calls 4 hour is 290.15. Then entry puts for on the 4 hour is 288.81 entry puts. All right. So that's basically what you're looking at for this upcoming week. All right. And that's all we got. Again, there's an honorable mention, Futu. Futu on the month could be setting up for a 322 reversal. All right. It would go on not 322. It'd be a 2 down, 2 up reversal. Tripping. 2 down, 2 up reversal on the month above 119.38. And then on the week, it'd just be a 2-2 continuation above 114.2 because it has the gap to fill to 150. The gap starts at 151.9 and it's to 158.28. So that wouldn't be bad for Futu. And then on the daily, it would be like a 2 down, 2 up reversal. So, and it also has another gap from on the daily, it has a gap from 130.73 to 134.21. All right. So that would be like an honorable mention. If you want to go with like an October expiration, if Futu does continue to go up on the month. I mean, if it does go 2-2 on the month or 2-2 on the week, you can go ahead and get that October 15th expiration. All right. Try to catch the whole move. But that's all I got. That's your trade ideas. If you need anything, let me know. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at TheStratuchiha. All right. Make sure you follow me on Twitch and catch the Twitches during the week. All right. Love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.